Welcome to the dynamic learning hub of XLR at Andheri East. A prime spot conveniently located at just a 5-minute walk from LIC Andheri Metro. In our journey of over a decade, we have proudly trained over 2 lakh students. We have also been recognized by Deloitte, Silicon India, and other accreditation bodies. Experience learning like never before in our spacious and comfortable classrooms. With high-definition projectors and state-of-the-art acoustics in place, we ensure effective learning even to the farthest point in the room. A hybrid mode is a game changer as you can enjoy the benefits of a live classroom from the comfort of your home. Even if you happen to miss any classroom session, you can still attend the same session with the same trainer at the same time at your convenience, maintaining consistency in your learning progress. Wanna get started? Join us for a demo or career chat over a cup of coffee at our Andheri branch. XLR. We don't just train, we build careers.
Yes, so the collaboration with XLR was an excellent one. We conducted a Power BI workshop with Advanced Excel over a span of 3 days. The workshop was almost 12 hours long in total. Mr. Karthik, who was an amazing trainer, helped the students understand the concepts deeply. I am sure that the students will be able to apply these concepts in their careers as well as their daily lives.
The trainer, Mr. Karthik, was an excellent person where he explained in very detailed manner on how to give great insights using very complex data sets.
So it was a machine learning workshop. We learned a lot from the course and it was a great experience attending the workshop.
The trainer was very helpful. He had a hands-on approach with his teaching and it was fabulous.
This was a great experience for me. So I would absolutely love it if XLR and its team would come again to our campus and conduct more events like this.
It was a great course and it started from basics and took me to a great extent.
The experience of the workshop was really nice. The feedback from all the students was positive. They understood the concept. The workshop was also practical based with some questions. The experience with XLR was very smooth. They helped us in conducting the workshop smoothly right from the booking of the vendor and deciding the course till the distribution of certificates. In overall, this workshop was a success during our technical fest Atmos, and I thank XLR for being a part of it.
very much interested in learning digital marketing course for a very long period of time, but I don't get a proper platform. So later from our college, I get to know about XLR and I enrolled in XLR course. It was really good experience. Our course has been taken by Mayur sir, and he was very good teacher. He not only focusing on theory part, he is doing how real digital marketing works, and it was in total very good experience. I get so much of knowledge here. They're not only focusing on study, they're also conducting different exam to test our knowledge, and as we are giving the exam, so to appreciate our work, they give certificates for the toppers, and along with the certificate they give hampers. Thank you, Excella.
Recently, I was searching for digital marketing courses online in Google, and I came across XLR, and I attended a digital marketing course which was for 15 days. My mentor Mayur helped me for attending these classes.
Hello everyone. All of you, can I get a quick confirmation from all of you? Is my voice visible to all of you? Can I get a quick confirmation? Okay. I think everyone is able to hear my voice. So just give me a second. I'm going to share my screen, then we are going to start the class. So let me just share the screen. Uh, Very good. So I think you are all able to see the screen right now. My screen is also visible to all of you. Am I right? Just give me a second. Okay. So in the last class, we see everything how to set up our developer console in the Apex in our particular Salesforce Developer Edition. We also created our account and we also able to execute our first program, which is the basic Hello World program. So today we are going to see some other things and some other programs as well. Okay. So first of all, before going on any programming language, the first thing which we need to know is basically the data types and the other thing and the data types of that particular programming language. So today the first thing we are going to do is the data type. And one more thing, all of you, I want you, if you want to send any messages, please send the message from send to the user which was right now sharing the screen. So you can share those message on the user who is sharing the screen right now. Okay, not on this particular user. You need to share all of your messages, all of your questions on the user which was right now sharing the screen through Zoom. Okay, is this clear to all of you? Is this clear to all of you? Yeah. Okay. Okay, now let's start our class and let's you can watch the previous class video on your LMS and on YouTube as well as. So let's start today's class. Right now I am on my developer screen and today's we are going to cover data types collections in Apex programming. So basically we are going to start with data types. So let's just start and see how many data types was available in Apex programming language. So let's start. The first thing in Apex programming language, we have basically normally data types like basic, you can say a string, integers, long, date and time. And basically these all data types are known as primitive data type. Now I think everyone is familiar with primitive data type. Primitive data type, can anyone tell me what is primitive data type? Anyone primitive data type? Can anyone know? Anyone? Okay. So primitive data type is basically in float integer. Okay. So basically primitive data types are those data types which was built in by the programming language which you can directly form like integer, float, string, time and date and other thing. So we are going to cover all the primitive data type very quickly and we are going to see every single of example. So I'm starting with the first primitive data type which is a string which we basically going to use multiple times. And if you remember clearly, uh, guys, I will already told you that you need to send your message on the second particular on the second device, not on this. Please try to send your message on the second device. Chetan, Manish Sahu, Chetan Gupta, please send your messages and everything on the user which was right now sharing the screen. Okay. So primitive data type are basically those data type which was pre-built in the programming language, and the first data type is a string. Now if you remember, Apex is basically a case sensitive not case sensitive language, so you can write a string how you like. So first of all, if you want to create a data type in Apex programming language, first of all you need to specify the data type name, which type of data it was going to store. So basically I am going to create a string type of data. Is my voice clear to all of you right now? Is everyone able to hear me right now? Can I get a quick confirmation on the chat box? Okay, thank you. So a string, first of all, we need to specify the data type name, whatever data which we are going to store, the string. Then we need to give a variable. Basically, a variable is simply, you can say, a name where a data was stored. So if I give you a simple definition about variable, variable is not a place where you store data. Variable is the name of the place where data was actually stored. So data was actually stored in your computer memory somewhere, and that preferred location is known as variable. So you need to create a variable, and the rules of variables is same for Apex also. The variable name not should start with underscore. The first letter never should be a special character, or it either should be a word. You are not going to give a space between a variables. No, variable is not a container. Remember, variable is not a container. If you are storing data, then variable is actually not a container. Just take a simple thing. Remember, variable is the name of place where your data was actually stored. So in your in your computer, if you have 10 spaces, on 10 spaces, suppose my data, this particular data was stored on fifth space, then we name that particular space a name, and that name is known as variable, and we can use that name to refer that location to fetch that data. Actually, variable is not a container. Variable is the name of place where actually your data was going to store. Remember this thing. So these are the basic rules of creating a variable. First, variable name should never start with underscore. It will never start with a special character, neither with a integer value, and you are never going to give a space between a variable name. Now these are the basic rules you need to follow when you are creating a variable. Now here we are just simply typing string, and now I need to create a variable. So I'm just creating a variable name, like just a variable. You can specify underscore if you want. Here it was be legal, but you are not going to specify I space there. After this we are going to use this sign, and I think everyone is familiar with this equal to. It was a operator, or you can say a assignment operator, which was used for assigning the RHS value into the LHS value. And here you need to specify your particular string. Now, in other programming language, when you specifying string, what we did, we actually put this type of quotation, or you can say bracket, and inside double quotes, and then we write our string. But in Apex, we are simply going to put two single quotes, and inside this we need to give our string. So here I am going to give my string hello world, and after this I need to terminate this line. After this our string was saved. Now let's try to execute this and see does we get any error or it was executed successfully. So now when I click on execution, see this time I'm not getting an error and it was executed successfully. Now come to here, but this time you see I'll get a message here like unread. This time this is important, the read section. Here I will get a message unread. And here I don't even get any logs type of information. Why this was happening? So if I open this again, here you can see I don't specify on open logs. So when you don't specify open logs, you will get this type of box. So if you want to see your output, what you're going to do, you need to click on this read to double click on read, and then you open all the logs file. Whatever you write, it was depend on you. You can name anything. It was completely depends on you. You can write whatever you want. You will write variable, where, whatever, it will depend on you, because it was a name. You can give anything. And remember, variable names should not be duplicated, because otherwise if you have two variable names with same name, the value should be override. So if you don't want duplicacy, then you don't need to create two variables with same name. Now here we are not able to see any results or any output, because this time we just simply created a variable, but right now we actually don't printing this. For printing this, if you remember correctly, we have the code, or you can say the function system.debug, and then here we need to pass our variable name, which will be this, what we want to print. So I want to print this variable, so I'm just going to print here system.variable. Okay, let me just put terminator, and this time let's try to execute this and see what we get. Our code was executed successfully. Again I'm getting unread option, because again I'm not checking the dialog box which is open logs. So this time if you click on this open logs, you actually don't need to click on this time continuously on double tap. You just simply click on execute, and you will directly open your logs file here. Now when you click on debugs only, here you will see your message on the debug hello world, and we get our first created a variable which stores data type of string, and we just simply print this. We are going to use the string keyword or the string data type multiple times in our particular Apex journey more and more. Okay, I think I have some questions. So let me just first see the questions which I get. Sir, debug only is not coming. Chetan Gupta, debug only is not coming. I just don't debug. See, if you don't click on this icon, see, if you don't click on open log and you just simply click on execute, at that time you're not able to see this debug section. See, you are not able to debug section and you see here status. Now when you click on this double tap, then you are open to see debugs only and you need to click on this icon. Ananya, we are doing this on, I think, Salesforce Developer Edition. If you don't remember, you need to watch yesterday's video. Just give me a second, guys. Okay. So after this, the second data type we have is integer data type. Now let's cover the integer data type. The same way we have string data type, we have integer data type. Now in the integer data type, what we need to do, let me just come here. In the place of a string, you need to specify the data type name, which will be integer. And then after this, here you need to specify the variable name. Now this time you see I have two variables, and if I am going to do this, let me show you what happened if I just name the same variable. So this time I'm just cutting this thing from here, and I'm going to paste this line here. And now you see I have two variables with same name. And this time instead of this, I'm going to store in this variable an integer value. So let me just store an integer value here first. Instead of hello variable, I'm going to store a, now I just simply store an integer value. And remember, when you are storing an integer value, you don't actually need to give double quotation, because if you give double quotation, then the program knows that this was the character of strings and it will count as a string, not as a integer value. So if you are trying to store an integer value, at that time you don't need to give this single quotation or double quotation. You just simply need to write your number and then the termination. Now this time you see I have two variables with same name, two variables. And now I'm going to print the variable and see which was going to print, or should I get an error. Now here you can see when I execute this, in some programming language, what was happening, the value was override by the variable. But if you are doing the same thing here, what was going to happen, we are going to get an error that the variable is duplicate. So in Apex, if you create duplicate variables, you are not going to execute your program. So I just need to change this variable from variable 1, and now this will work. Let me just do this, variable 1, and here I need to print variable 1. Okay, now let's try to execute this and see what we are getting. Now our execution was again successful, and now again I get a message from unread because I don't check the logbox. So when I click on double click here and click on the debug section, I will get my output here 1425425, which is the integer value which I just used. Now integer is basically a data type which was going to store all the integer numbers. After integers, we have two more data types. One is long and the other is double. Now let me just first clear you the difference between long and double. So basically the long data type is a data type which was going to store long numbers without decimal. Remember, the simplest definition is a long variable is a data type which was going to store long number without a particular decimal. So let me show you what this means. So here I have a long variable which was basically used for storing very long numbers. So I am just creating a new variable name like new number, and it was going to store a particular number like suppose 145. It will be a long number. But if I just click on this line now and click on execute, it does not give me any error and it was executed successfully. But if I come again on this section, unexpected token variable, can you, why I'm getting set this error, let me just see who is getting this error actually. Pranjal Patil, sir, why I'm getting this error, unexpected token variable. Pranjal Patil, can you please take a picture of your program and send to me? on the chat box. It was very good for me. Okay, now guys, if you see this, now this time here previous when we have the same program, I don't get any error. But if I put a decimal here and put some value like here a point, now if I try to execute this, here you see I will get an error. That here if you, I'll just let me zoom this screen a little bit. Actually, I'm not able to. Let me just zoom this. Okay. Now if you guys able to see this, here you can see that I am getting an exception here, execution anomalous error, line 4 column thing, illegal assignment from decimal to long. So what it was saying that we are performing an illegal assignment, which was we are transferring a decimal value in a long value. Okay, if you don't get the LMS portal, you will going to be get in the next 24 hours or maybe tonight. So don't need to worry about that. Okay, after this, let's start with the next. Now here, this is the simplest thing, that long numbers or the long variable is only going to store real integer values on a very long scale, but it was not going to store any fractional or divisional part. Now in the second thing, you have double. Double is also a data type which was going to store numeric value, but it will allow you to store decimal point also, and it was going to store the value till 64 bits. So double, and here I need to create a new variable name like new double, and here we need to pass a value. So I'm just passing a random value here and just terminating this line, and now just try to print all these things together. So just copy this line, Control C, and here we are going to paste it 2 times. Instead of this, we have new number. Okay, and now the second is new double. Okay, semicolon was missing. Say apex is also remember termination. This sometime you will get error if you don't put this semicolon. So you need to put semicolon. Now let's try to execute this, and here our program was executed. Now again we are getting unread message because again I don't check this log box, so I need to check it again because I don't want to click it again. Click on execute again. Our program was executed and we are right now on debug block. Click on here, and here you can see we'll get our message. First we are printing an integer value, then we are printing basically a simple number, and then in the last we are printing our name or a long, or you can say a double value. Now this time you have something also. The next thing we need to do is a comment line. Suppose in this particular program I actually don't want to print this line. So in Apex programming language we have two ways to give a line or make a line comment. The first is single line comment, which will be done by these two semicolon, or these two single lines. When you put these together, it will make a basically single line comment. But if you want a double line comment, then you need to give a single line, then a star, and then from this place to where you want it will be a variable or a comment, you need to specify there. So here you need to come star and then this. Now the Apex compiler already know that this part is the basically a command, and it was not going to execute this part. So in Apex programming language, you have two ways to give comments. The first is single line. For this, you need to use this. And the second is the double line comment, or you can say multi-line comment. For this, you need to write like this. And then let me just clear this here. Write it. This is double line comment here, or you can say multi-line, or and this is your particular single line comment. Now comments is very important for you because when we are developing big softwares and when we are writing complex functions or methods, at that time we need to remember everything. And this is very useful for us. So comments is very useful for you when you are getting or creating bigger softwares. Does anyone have any doubt till this long numbers? How we can save the programs here so that we can access them whenever we want, just like we do. See, this is the actual problem here in Apex programming language. Now I'm also going to show you today how we are going to actually run your program in VS Code. But if this time you are going to want to store this, what you are going to do, these all are stored in the Salesforce heap, which will be like 6 MB for us. And all the program which we are writing right now was actually stored in Salesforce heap. So if you want to save this program, here you need to see you have an option say save all. Now when you click on this save all option, these are saved, but actually these are automatically deleted after 24 hours when you open. If you want your all program should save, what you need to do, you need to write these program in VS Code. Now, let me tell you before going further, I am going to show you how we are going to set up our VS Code also for this thing. I think everyone has VS Code in their laptop, am I right? Can I get a quick confirmation? As this Apex is related to Java. No, it was not actually related to Java, but it is similar to Java. Yeah, Apex is basically a programming language which was very similar to Java programming language. Program name, sir. Program name? I don't. So I'm going to show you how you're going to set up your VS Code and how you're going to run your particular Apex programming language. For this, first of all, you need to install software name Salesforce CLI. So let me share this step first. You need to search for, okay, you need to search for on this page for Salesforce CLI, which will stand for command line integration for Salesforce. So we need to download Salesforce CLI first. Salesforce CLI. Here you will get Salesforce CLI integration. And this is basically a command line interface which was used for, you can say, integrating our VS Code with the Salesforce platform. So first of all, you need to click on the Salesforce CLI and you need to download this Salesforce CLI. Depend on device which you are using, you need to download this file. For example, if you're using for Windows, you need to click on Windows, and if you're using for Linux, you need to click on Linux. I think I have already installed this thing, so I'm not going to install it again from the start. Now, after installing this, what is the next thing we are going to do? You need to install this. Also, you need to install Salesforce CLI integration, and if you install Git, it will be very good for you. After this, you need to install the second thing will be VS Code for you. So you need to install, let me just first give you the links for this. For those who want to install for Windows, I'm sending you the link on the chat box. Let me wait a second. Okay, so those who want to install this thing, Salesforce CLI, in their particular, you can say Windows operating system, this is for Windows. Those who want to install this on basically a Mac OS, you need to click on this thing, this link. The second link is for Mac OS. And those who are using right now an Linux operating system, for them, we have one more option. So let me just give you the third link. And this is for actually those who want to download for Linux operating system. So these are the three. The first is basically for Windows, the second is for Mac, and the third is for, it will be a very for your Linux operating system. Now after installing this, the second thing you need to install, sir, for Windows x86. The first one is for Windows x86. The first one is compatible. You need to download the first one. After this, you need to install VS Code. So click on VS Code download, and you know which VS Code you need to install. So here you just need to simply click on download Visual Studio Code. And right now I'm also going to download the same thing. So show you how we are going to set. So you need to click on Visual Studio here, and here you need to install the Visual Studio for your particular system. If you have Windows, you need to install this, and I think everyone already familiar how to install this. I'm also going to send you the link from where you are able to install Visual Studio Code 2. So let me just send this link to you. Now, this CLI software is actually not very big. It was like a very small software, which is like for, I think everyone has VS Code, am I right? So you need to install the Salesforce CLI So the path should be default. Yeah, the path should be default. You don't need to worry about path. Okay. Okay, now it's downloading. Okay, very good. After downloading the CLI, the next thing you need to do, just give me a second. I need to wait a second. Just give me- okay. When you are downloading these two things, when you are done downloading these two things, the next thing you need to do is to set up your VS Code. Before going to VS Code, let me just share the entire screen so you are able to see. So let me share the entire screen first. Now you are able to see the entire screen. So when you want to start, or when you want to start your particular VS Code to run, first of all, what you need to do, you just simply, I'm going coming on here, and let me just click this thing. Here you see right now, actually, where is my VS Code? I think I will, okay, let me search for here VS Code. Okay, so you need to open your VS Code first. So right now I'm opening my VS Code. And here you can say this is my virtual studio code, which was right now here. And here by default I have opened the file, but I'm going to start a new project here. So click on file, and here I'm going to open a new folder. Let me just open a new folder. Let me just click. Okay, so right now I'm going to open a new folder on a new volume, like local does say, and I'm going to name it something else. When you open, you have already a new folder. Just name it new folder, and here just simply click on OK. Now it was taking a little bit time. Just give it, don't save. Okay, right now you see we are on a new tab of particular VS Code. It was taking a little bit time, just guys. Just give us a second. It was taking, yeah. Now we are completely on a new type of Visual Studio Code with everything new. And you will also open your Visual Studio Code. Remember, before opening the Visual Studio Code, you need to be logged in already. You need to be logged in, or you need to already install the Salesforce CLI integration. Before, because if you don't install Salesforce CLI and then you open this, it was not going to work. So first install Salesforce CLI, and it was very better that after installing the Salesforce CLI, refresh your laptop and then open your VS Code. After opening the VS Code, the first thing you need to do, you need to install some extensions, because these extension was going to actually help for you. So you need to click on this extension icon here, and here you need to search for extension. So let me just show you which extension which we are going to install. Here you need to search for Salesforce. Salesforce. Let me just show you. Salesforce. You need to install the Salesforce Developer extension, which was going to helpful for you. This is the Salesforce extension package, and you need to install this extension. The single extension has all things which you need. It was Apex and every other thing. Also, you need to install this Apex extensions also. Sometime it was very useful, and this Agent Force for Developer. Now, if you have these three extensions, you don't need to worry about any others. These three was going to work properly for you. So you need to install these three things, or you just simply click on Salesforce extension package, and it will install all the extensions for you. When you are done installing the package, what you need to do next is, let me just clear this. We need to start our Salesforce project. So how we are going to start it? Does everyone has clear till this point? Do anyone have doubt till this point? I'm getting path not a, I think you just have some problem on during the process of installation. Can you tell Android app for this? Actually, you don't have any Android app. If you want to use this on Android, you just simply go to Google Chrome. I cannot find the package. This was not a package actually. This was an extension which you find on VS Code. After you download the CLI, you need to install it the CLI, the Salesforce CLI integration. When you are done installing the Salesforce CLI integration, you need to open your VS Code. And when you open your VS Code, you need to click on this extensions. When you click on this extensions, you need to search for Salesforce. And here you will find extension name Salesforce extension package version 64.7.1. You need to click on here, and here you will get the option of install. Click on install, and in some time it was automatically installed on your particular operating system. Do you guys clear right now? Okay. After this, the main parts come here. The main part is right now that you need to start your project. So how we are going to do this? For this, first of all, you need to come here on this setting icon again. So first come on here on the setting icon, and here you need to see you will get an option like command palette. When you see the command palette option, what you are going to do, you need to here start this thing. So how we are going to? First you need to search for here Salesforce. Now here you can see when I search for Salesforce, I don't get any information. You need to search for here. Let me just search for extension URL. Just give me a second. Start project. Wait a second. Actually, this is not working. Just give me a second, guys. I need to actually, I think, check whether I just installed the Salesforce CLI or not. I think I also uninstall. Let me just check it. Okay, let me just see Salesforce CLI. Okay, I don't have. Okay, I have actually Salesforce CLI integration here. Okay, so let me just see this again. Just give me a second. Okay. I think everyone has already downloaded the Salesforce CLI. Okay, very good. Now let me come here and just give me a second on command palettes, extension manage, and the start project. Let me just see this. Wait a second. Actually, not showing here. I need to. Okay, wait a second. I'm already in a new folder. We need to click on command. Actually, it was not so. Let me just try to reopen it. This. Let me just see. Uh, Wait a second, guys. Actually, I have some problem. Are you guys able to see the screen right now? Why just okay, wait a second. Actually, the screen is not visible right now. Just give me a second. I just share the screen again. Just give me a second, guys. I'm just coming from. I'm just going to get a bottle of water. Just I'm going to start the class. Just give me a second. everyone able to see my screen right now? Is everyone able to see my screen right now? Wait a second. Just give me a second. I just, okay, let me just share it again. Okay, are you able to see the screen right now? So when you are done with the extensions, what you need to do next thing is you need to start your particular VS Code again like this if it is not working properly. After this, that you need to check whether your extension was installed or not. So you can come here and search for the Salesforce extension pack, and here you can see it was already installed for your particular system. After this, what is the next thing you need to do? You need to go on this section and you need to click on this command palette option. When you click on this command palette option, you need to first for SFDX project, or you can say sir SFDX, or you can create project. So first of all, you are going to search for SFDX. Now, sometime you will get this type of error, no matching error. This was happened due to sometime we are not able to completely install the particular, or you can say sometime we have some problem in the installation process of CLI. So if you are facing some problem on the CLI, this is why you are getting this error. If you don't get SFDX, search for SFDC. If you are not getting both of these things, what you are going to do next, you need to just cut out your browser once, then again you need to go on the downloading the downloading part of the CLI and check whether it was downloaded successfully or not, and then try to reopen your particular VS Code again and a new browser. So let me just try to do this. Sir, after installing also I'm unable to get the Salesforce in the it. I don't know why you are not getting the extension. You need to search for Salesforce, the correct spelling. Sometimes if you make the spelling wrong, you are not able to see this. So you need to make we have to search for SFDX. Uh, yeah, SFDX authorize. Sometime you are not going to get this commands in the first term. So you need to do this for like 1 or 2 times, then you are going to get this. Now I'm opening this VS Code again and let's just see this time I'm getting or not. So let me just search this again. So again, I'm going to search for SFDX, SFDX. And here you see this time I'm also not going to, I think I have some problem with the, okay, I need to reinstall it. So I'm going to do this in front of you guys. Just give me a second. I also need to install the Salesforce CLI. So let me just install this. And maybe this time I have some problem with, okay, it was start downloading. Those who are facing in the problem of downloadation part, just see how we are going to install this. And let me just uninstall the old CLI. Maybe I am facing the problem with that. So first of all, I need to install a program. Let me see, does I have any other? Okay, it was actually uninstalling. Just simply click on uninstall. Wait a second. Just give me a second. It was taking a little bit time. Okay, in the meanwhile time, I just need to see your messages. How many of you find the extensions properly? Yeah, I'm going to do. While installing Salesforce setup, it's showing up select component to install. What should be selected, sir? You need to select all these components which was showing here. Like, let me just show you again. So right now I will just uninstall this properly. And I think I have already installed this particular SFDX. So let me just open this and I'm going to execute this first. Okay. Now I need to install this Salesforce CLI first. Then let's see does this work or not. Okay. So you need to add this also. Next, C program. Here you need to click on install. It was taking a little bit time on the process of installation, and I just need to click on this cancel out. Okay, let me just close this thing. Okay, it was taking a little bit time, and now I think it was done. Just need to wait for 1 to 2 minutes again, and then it will be done. Is everyone able to hear me right now properly? Okay, I think it was done. Okay, now the next thing we need to do is here we need to click on this close, and if you open already your particular, I can say, your Salesforce account, what you need to do, you need to just simply cut out your VS Code at that time and start it again. Because sometime what happened when you just simply open your VS Code and when you install the Salesforce CLI and try to do this again, it was giving you some problems. So right now I'm going to open my VS Code again from the start. So let me just try to reopen it from a folder where I want to open this. So let me just come on the PCs, and here I want to open this on local disk C, and let's create a new type of here new folder. On this new folder I want to open this. So let me just simply click on this icon. Here I need to search for, okay, let me just open this. After this, what we need to do right now, our VS Code was opened here, and here this time we need to, okay. So I am again going to, after this, when you open this, you need to go on this icon again, and you need to see whether your particular extension was installed or not. So again, I'm coming here and I'm going to search for Salesforce CLI again. And here I'm able to see that every Salesforce particular for my thing was already installed. So I'm again going to click on here and let me see that this was actually installed or not. So it was right now actually installed, and here you'll get two options, disable or enable, and here you'll get an uninstall option. So suppose if the sometime after installing this it will not work, click on uninstall, and here you can say cannot uninstall Salesforce extension pay alone. Agentforce developer, Apex interface, and other was already installed. So you need to uninstall all, or you don't need to install anything. I think everyone has already installed this. After installation, you need to click on here this section on this particular small type, this manage option, and here you will find on the top of this option say command palette. Here you need to first search for SFDX create project. And see, this time I'm also not able to see this thing. Let me just see this why I'm getting this error. I need to see whether I just install this particular CLI. Sometime it was happening due to the local variables problem. So let me just check the PC just for a second. Give me a second, guys. Just a small second. Give me a second. Just wait a second. Okay, wait a second. Let me just see why this was happening again. Let me open files my again. New folder. Okay, okay, wait a second. I think I found the problem. Let me just give you a second, guys. Okay, let me just share this screen again. I think I short. The problem was short. Okay, this was happening due to right now I just not able. I'm just off one extension. That's why I'm getting this error again. I'm not able to see the Salesforce. After typing sfdx I get create and edit project. Okay, if you get the create project, those who are not getting this thing is this because sometime you some extension will not properly activated, that's why you are getting this type of error sometimes. So if you are not getting this thing, there will be no any problem. So let me just show my screen again, and then I think I will. So the type in capital letter. Yeah, you can search anything. Let me just share my entire screen. Is my screen visible to all of you? Okay. Now again, let me come on VS Code again. And here you see when I again click on this time on command palette, here now if I search for SFDX, what you need to search for SFDX, and here you when you search for SFDX, you will find an option like this, SFDX create project. So you need to search for SFDX create project. So when you search for SFDX, you need to click on this. When you click on this, you have three options here. The first is the standard, second is empty. And see, sometimes you will not get this particular message on the first time. As you see, I will also not getting. This was happened when because sometimes the extensions took a little bit more time to actually complete this process. So this is why sometimes this happen. So you need to just close your VS Code for 1 to 2 or 3 times, and then the next time when you open, you'll able to see this message. Which option? You need to click on SFDX create project. SFDX create project. Okay. Now after this, you need to click on the first icon, the standard. Here you have three options. A start project template. So when you click on this, you will open a project template. So we are going to standard because we want a new project. And here you need to give a project name. So I'm not just giving a project name, which is like VS Code project, just anything, whatever you want to give, and just click on here, enter. After this, it will open a file where you want to create this project. So just simply create, choose a file like no, this file where I'm just using this. So simply create on project, and you will open a new file with all the importance or all the necessary package which was used for the Salesforce program to run. And here on the right side you will get these type of information, and here you will get one more message on the terminal that 2023 a date, and then Salesforce object definition refresh version 19 standard object ended with exit code, means the code was executed and you will open the Salesforce properly. Okay, I'm going to tell you again. So first, remember, after installing CLI, then you need to open your VS Code. You need to click on extensions. When you click on extension, you need to search for Salesforce extension package, or you can search for these three packages which you need. The first is Agentforce for Developer, Apex, and Apex Interactive Debugger. Either you can download these three one by one. Again, I'm going to tell you Agentforce for Developer and extension, Apex extension, Apex Interactive Debugger, or you can download these three individually, or you can directly search for Salesforce and you will get a full extension like Salesforce Apex extension package, and you just simply install that like this thing, Salesforce extension pack. This is the name, and you just simply install this particular thing. You have three ways: either you install this or you install these three one by one. After installing this, what you need to do next, it was very good practice and it is a very good thing. If you don't want any error, just close your VS Code, close every program, try to restart your computer once, and then try to do it, because sometimes we are getting these errors when you are not able to see the SFDX project option. After this, try to reopen your VS Code again from the start, and after, you need to click on this manage option, the setting option which you see on the right side, left side, and then you need to click on command palette. When you click on command palette, on the top of here, you need to search for SFDX project. So SFDX create project. Create project. When you search for SFDX create project, you need to click on the first icon. When you click on the first icon, you will get three options: standard, empty, or analytics. Remember, we are going to use standard project template. So we are not going to use empty or analytics. We are just going to use the standard project. So you need to click on the standard project template. So I'm right now clicking on this. After this, here you need to give the project name. So right now I'm giving this demo projects, and then you need to click on here enter. You have two options: either you give the project name or you don't give the project name. It was going to work properly. So right now I'm just going to give a project name, and then I'm going to press here enter. When I press here enter, here it will open a file where you want to store this thing or start this thing. So you can define where you want to create this project. So you can choose internal driver, local disk. So I'm going to use this on internal driver F, and here I will simply create on create project. When you do this, you see there are some type of already predefined file, or you can say config files, was already opened or created in this particular project. And this is how you just simply started a basic Salesforce project. And this is from where you are going to run your Salesforce program, which you are also running in the debugger console. Now here you see you have multiple options here also. Now we are actually not going to see this, and if you're getting this message, means your work was executed properly. But if you're getting error, then the means is that extension is not installed properly, or you have some problem in the Salesforce CLI integration. Does anyone have any doubt till this point, or should I move forward? Anyone has any doubt, or should I move forward? Okay. Now I don't think anyone have any doubt. So next thing we are going to do this. Here you see we have everything. Now how you are going to simply execute your particular program. So where you are going to write your things. So here you see we have two options here, a force app and the script. But before doing this, we are not able to execute this. Because if you want to execute, remember, Salesforce is a CRM or software, a platform. So if you want to execute your particular program, you need to connect this VS Code with your Salesforce CLI or the command thing. So again, you need to come here and search for Salesforce authorize and all. So what you need to search? Let me write here again. Come here and you need to search for SFDX authorize as all. You need to search for this, and when you search, you'll get this message: authorize and all. Remember, you need to do this in steps. If you search for authorize and all on the first step, you are not going to get this particular command anytime. So first, you need to search for SFDX create project. When you are done creating project, then you need to search for SFDX authorize project. After this, when you click on SFDX authorize and all here it will ask three things: project, use, URL production sandbox what you're going. So we are using the production basically to click on production, and here you need to give analyze this code. Means when you connect your particular VS code with this, so it knows what actually happened. It just simply create a session with the source and your VS code. So during this session, it was asking you right now what is the name you want to give for this particular session. So you can give anything like I'm giving here new admin, and after this just simply click on here enter, and here on the right side you get a message like running SFDS authorization or and Salesforce here. Now when you done this, you open this type of particular pop-up page where you need to log in, and you need to log in from it. You need to log in from the particular Salesforce. So I need to log in here. So I need to write actually I'm not speaking, that's why my voice is not clear. Right here my username, I just need to check it. Just give me a second. Okay, my username is Aditya. Okay, it was Aditya 689. Okay, 689. And then here I need to specify my password. It should be ADITYA. Now you need to click on here login. When you click on login here, you will say you will getting a message of login Salesforce. And here you will open this particular type of pop-up. You will open this page. Now, when you are done this, here you see you will get a message allow access. If you click on allow access, then your VS code is going to get the allow. Otherwise, it was not going to allow. So here you can see we get a message like authentication successful. You are successfully logged in. You can now close this browser tab or window. So now here you can see I'm just closing this thing, and now I'm coming on my VS code again. So let me come on my VS, and here you will see we get a message also that Salesforce CLI integration completed. So organized successfully. You just simply click it here. Now you connected your VS code with your Salesforce particular CRM. Now this time we are going to run out. So how we are going to run out? Here you have two main things: is the post app and the now first the post app is important, but right now we are not the post app. We are only going to use this. When you open the system, here you see you will get the option of app. You need to click on app.
Sir, your voice is too low actually. Can you please fix this?
Sir, is my voice clear right now?
Yes, sir. Now it's clear.
Okay, so let me tell you again from the start. When you are done from logging on the Chrome browser, and you will get the redirected to your a new page when you need to give the allow access. After giving the allow access, what you need to do next, you need to come on VS Code. When you come on VS Code, on this section you see you have created multiple files, but in these multiple files you have two main things. The first is the script, and the second is force app. The force app is used for creating classes and running classes on VS Code, and the script is used for running basic or small Apex codes. So how you are going to do this? So when you open scripts, you see two options. First is Apex, and the second is SQL. You need to click on Apex here, and here you see you have already a program. Now, if you want to create a new program, for example, right now we are studying data type. So here you see you have two options also on the VS Code top. One is a new file, and other is new folder. You need to click on new folder, new file, and here you need to give the name. So right now we are studying data type, so I'm just naming this data type dot apex. Now when I just type data type dot apex, I need to clear her enter, and here I will just open my open my code editor, and here I need to write my code. So right now just going to write a simple program. So let me just come on this section, and I'm going to just copy this code, open execute, and here I'm just going to copy this code this time. Okay, control plus C. Now I'm just going to save this code here. So now everything code was executed here. Now how you are going to execute this code? See, for executing this code, when you write your particular Apex program, here you'll get the option say execute. So when you click on execute, here you will see your execution, get a message, execution runs successfully. But you see you are not going to get any output. So how you are going to see output? So if you want to see output, you need to open this log section a little bit up, and here you need to find where it was executed. So now if you see on these lines, let me just make this, these line, here our particular program are executed, and here we will get our output. So this is how you are going to see your results in VS Code. So if you want to run any program, this is how you are going to see your result. You need to create your particular Apex program in this section, and this is how you are able to save your program also, and also able to execute in VS Code and see the results. Does anyone have any doubt till this point how to run your program in VS Code and get the result or get the output? Does anyone have any doubt till this point? How to open VS Code files? Okay, let me see your messages. Just give me a second. I need to see all of your questions. How to run once again, sir? How hello sir, can you please guide me on how I can log in on Salesforce? Can you repeat the authorization process? Okay. Okay. Okay, I'm going to repeat the execution process once again. So you can see how it was. Let me share my screen again. See, when you just open your VS Code again, here you can see after writing your program, what you need to do, you just simply see this time. If you just let me zoom this thing, here you can see execute option. Do you see this option execute? The small option, if you see here, this is the option which you are going to use for execution part. You need to click on this part and you are able to execute this. So you just simply need to click on this execution, and when you click on execute your program, and here you will get a first a message at execute anonymous apex successfully ran, and here you will get your message. Now if you do an error, suppose if you give an error like here, and now this time if I try to execute this, see this, here you will get an error this time, and it was the code was run, but here we are getting an error, ended execution anonymous apex unexpected token. So this is how you are also going to get your errors, and this is how you are going to get your results. But if you are starting as a new Salesforce developer, it was very useful that if you practice the Salesforce on the Salesforce website. But VS Code provides you some other features like the code detection error or the error detection error. Like if you made an error, it was going to point it out in the program already. So VS Code is also for good, but if you are a beginner, it was very suggested that you should use the basically Salesforce debugger console. So now I think everyone is cleared. So should we move to the programming? Yeah, Apex extension will be used. Apex extension is important. No, yeah, you can directly. I'm just copying this code. It doesn't mean that you need to write this code again. I'm just copying this code. You can just simply write it. And remember, you need to write in this Apex file. Here you just simply need to create new files. You can create multiple files, whatever you want to create, whatever name. Just you need to give the extension Apex, and then you need to create this file, and here you are going to write your particular program. like just giving a simple message like system.debug. Like here you can see it will give you the auto type option. The first thing is this, which will be a very useful thing. But in the initial, it was suggested that if you use the basic Salesforce CLI, or you can say the basic developer console, it was very useful. So here you just need to write your message and just simply click on execute, and your program was executed. And here I am getting an error. Here you can see line 1. Okay, I just let me see what type of error. Okay, so actually I'm getting this error because I don't put the terminator here. No, now it will execute properly. Now here you will get, again I'm getting errors show. Okay, let me just clear this. Actually system.debug, hello, let me just execute this again. Okay, our code was executed enormously successful. And but this time what is the problem in VS code, that you need to find this system.debug where your code was executed and you will get your message. So you need to found that thing, and this was a little bit tough sometime. So here you need to find where we just executed our code. So just see executor system.debug here, and this is sometime a little bit. Here you can see we are getting our message hello. So this is how you are going to see where your message or where your particular output was going to see. Code language is not getting defined. If you are getting this error in the VS code, this was happened because particular your what I'm saying, your extension was not successfully installed, and this is a problem due to extension. So if you don't get the execution option, what you need to do here, you can simply click on this option also. You have just click on run, and here you will get run without or starting. So if you click on these things also, it will actually not going to work. What you need to do is just click on run, start debugging, then click on okay, again come on here, and again come on command palette, and this time you need to search for sfdx run project. When you search for sfdx, here you can see multiple options. Now if you don't get your particular thing, like if you don't get the execution, here you can see when you search for sfdx, you'll get this option, sfdx execute anonymous apex with apex editor content. So if you don't get this type of option, this execute option here, you need to search for here, come on this section, command palette, search for sfdx first, sfdx, and here you will see an option like execute anonymous apex with editor content. If you don't get this message, you need to search for the whole command, which will be execute anonymous apex with editor content. You need to click on this and you are able to execute this. So this is what you need to do. So I am going to write all the steps again in a more appropriate way. So let me just open this. Let me just come here. You need to just take a screenshot of this thing, because I'm going to write all the steps from the start, how you're going to open your VS code and how you're going to run this. So let me just write all these things here. So we have here a multi-line comment. So here I'm going to write this. Let me just make it bigger. Just zoom this a little bit. So the first step is install CLI. So first step will be install CLI. Second, you need to install VS Code. After this, you need to install Salesforce extension. Salesforce extension in VS Code. And you need to see in the Salesforce extension, you have Apex extension, you have Agent Force extension, and the last you need to see for Apex Debugger extension. So when you're installing the Salesforce extension in VS Code extension package, you need to install these three. You need to check for is this available in the extension package or not. After this, what you need to do next? After this, you need to go to command palette, and you need to search for, remember, SFDX create project. You need to write the right spelling if you are doing this first time, create project. After this, when you write then this create project, you need to give a name. Whatever name you want to give, you need to give a name. After this, you need to search for a new, when the project was created, you need to give name. Then you need to choose standard in the SFDX project. After choosing a standard, you need to specify a location, and your project, or your, you can say your project was a basic file was created. After this, the next step is you need to search for SFDX in the command palette again. You need to search for SFDX authorize as org. Authorize as a org. When you click on this, you just simply need to click. You will pop up to the Salesforce login page where you need to log in and allow the permission. Pop up to Salesforce login page. Salesforce login page. After this, the next thing you need to do, you need to write your program. Remember where you are going to write your program. You are going to write your program in scripts. You first need to go in scripts. Inside scripts, you will find Apex, and inside Apex, you need to create your files, whatever file you want to create, like data files, or create new Apex file. Create new Apex file, and then you need to execute it. How you are going to execute? Either you just simply click the execute option you will getting, and if you don't get the execute option, what you are going to do? You are going to use this command, which is command palette, and if you don't execute anonymous apex with editor content, so you are going to use this particular command if you are not getting. So fcfdx execute anonymous, you need to search for this command if you are not getting this execute option directly here. Let me just show you. If you don't get this execute option directly here, then you need to go come on command palette and search for sfdx execute anonymous with apex editor content, and then you are able to do this. And remember, if you just shut down or close this tab, so next time when you open this, actually this session was closed. So next time if you want to run this thing whole again, then you need to start from the start. But this time you are not going to start from create project, but this time where you are going to start, you are going to start from this process, sfdx authorize and org. So if you are the first time, you need to do this, but if you come on the second time, you need to start from this page. You don't need to do this all things. So you need to start from this phase every time. If you close this and cut the connection with internet, the next time you go to VS Code, you need to connect with this. And remember, if you don't have your internet connection, then you are not able to execute these things. Type error will be getting if you just don't write the type name properly. The type name will be wrong. That's why you're getting this type error. Now this is how you are going to execute these things. I'm just going to send you all this message in a chat box. So let me just give you a quick send in the chat box. Okay, let me just copy this. Okay, that's good. Let me send you the chat messages in the chat box. Okay, I think someone is getting some errors. Let me just see. E should be capital. E should be capital actually. Chetan Gupta, E should be capital. Yeah, you need to authorize in VS Code, otherwise you are not going to get your particular things working. So right now guys, I think this was complete this part. Now we are going to start our programming where we left this thing. Now if you have any other doubts, I'm going to also share you a reference video where you are able to install this whole thing from the start. So if you have some problems on the installation process, you can go there. And this is a this is information for those students who want to store. Amrita, you are doing right. Yes, you need to click on the production URL, production, not project, the production one. Yes, every time if you open the VS Code, you need to authorize. No, if you get the run option, it was not, you are not going to get the result, because remember, it was not actually a software. See, if you want to run Java, what you did, you just simply install JDK. If you want to run Python, what you do, you simply install Python. So if you want to run these programming language, we just simply install these packages. But if you see this here, we are not actually installing. Here we are just connecting our Salesforce to the VS Code, and then we are running. So every time when you want to execute these codes, you need to simply reconnect it or reauthorize it every time. Then it was going to work properly. Okay, now this time is over. Now we are going to start our developer console. Now we already see three things. We already see the doubles, integers, and string type of data type. Now the next data type is basically, yeah. Now here is the question. Now I am also preferably suggesting all of you to use developer console for a period of time after shifting to Apex on VS Code, because VS Code actually going to provide you more functionalities, more visibilities, and more detection and other things. But if you practice on debugger console from the starting, you will have a practice to write the codes without using any type of tools, and you will reduce the errors when you're writing bigger programs. So it will also help you in starting writing the program more fastly on VS Code. So from the starting, I'm going to suggest you that you use VS Code, Apex Developer Console, and here you are simply able to see your codes very easily just by clicking on this debug, not rather than on your particular VS Code. Now let's start our new thing, the new the new command, or you can say the new data type. The new data type which we are going to study is the date and time and some other data type. Now in Apex programming language, we also have date and time data type. Now date and time data type is going to store date and time for a particular thing. Now we have two type of date, three types for date and time. First is for date, second is time for time, and third is for date and time both. Now we are going to see three each by each. So first I'm going to use the date as type of data type. So for this, first of all, here we need to specify date, which is the data type name, and then you need to give the name like tday, or you can give anything like today, sorry, a new day. Okay, so I'm giving the date name, which will be date, and then the date data type name. After this, what is we are going to do this? Remember, date is actually a method also in our particular Apex programming language. So here we need to create, we have a function which is known as date dot instance, or you can say the new instance. Now date.new instance is a function basically which was used for creating a new date instance and storing in the variable. So date is a data type and new day is the variable which was going to store date type of data in this, and date.instance is a method which was going to give a new type of date or a new date in this thing. So date.newInstant is basically a method which was going to store the date in this particular variable. So date, then we need to write the method name, which will be date, then dot new, then capital I, and you need to write I instance. Then you need to give here, when after date dot new instance, you need to open brackets, and in this bracket we need to pass some parameters. So this function typically take three parameters. The first parameter is basically your year, the second parameter is basically the month, and the third parameter is basically your date. So you have three parameters need to pass in this section particularly. So how we are going to pass this? So first thing you need to pass the year. So right now I'm going to pass the year, which will be 2025. Wait a second. Date. Okay. The year, which will be 2025. After this, you need to separate year, months, and date with a comma. So date 2025. After this, we need to give the month, which will be 07, and then today's date, which will be, I think, today is 8. So we are giving the date, which will be 08. Putting the comma, and here just giving a exclamatory mark or the termination. Now we just simply going to print this and see does this work properly or not. So system.debug, and here I need to print this. So this option, and now new day. Copy your variable, paste it here, give the termination, and just let me execute this. Now when I click on execute here, we are getting an error on line 22 column 1, and you can see missing EFO at here. So let's see what we make the mistakes. Now the best part for using the debugger console is you will get these type of error information. Like you will also get the information in which line you are making the error. So it is very useful for you in the starting because you will find your error on the very start. So you don't need to be worried about that. So let's see what is the error we are actually meeting. So let's come here on line 1, 2022. So here we are getting error on line 22, that date.new instance, and this is the error actually we are getting on this particular thing on 2025. Now the basic thing I am getting this error here is because here I specify 07. I think this is the let me just check, date.new instance, which will be good. Date dot spelling may be a mistake, NEW. Okay, let me just remove this 0 and see does this work or not. Line 21 missing E. Okay, I think I know what I'm doing wrong this time here. Just again. Okay, so the basic error is I'm making here is this new instance or the creation of new instance this time. So let me just try to recreate this instance. Just rewrite this thing. Wait a second. Are you able to see the VS Code right now, guys? Are you able to see the VS Code? Are you guys able to see VS Code? Can anyone confirm? Okay, wait a second. I think this is VS Code. Okay. Now I think you are able to see VS Code. Okay. So here you can see I will just write the same program here. And the program I am getting this error because the spelling of the new instance, and sometime it was giving me the errors due to some reasons. So here we are doing the same thing like date.date now in new instance. And this time I'm going to execute the same program here. And let me see does we are getting this error or not. Wait a second, I need to change the date. 2025, it will be 5 instead of, okay, 7, and here instead of 18 I need to specify which will be 8. Okay, and this will be good. Let's try to run this. Either I need to click on execute here, and here you see we'll get our execution done. And now we need to see our result because let me see does it printing this or not. So here we need to search for debugs. So let's search for debugs. Okay, so this is the actually problem. Okay, so here we are getting our result T day 2025-007, and here you can see here we will get one message also. Like here we will get the time also, which will be 0000Z. By default, this T day give a time type of information also if you don't specify, and this time will be basically 000. So if you don't specify the time, then you are going to get this message by default. So you need to either specify the time or you are going to get this message by default. So remember, you need to do this already Now the next thing is we need to know about the time data type. The same as date, we have the data type for time, and we are able to do the same thing. Now the time data type is basically going to store three things. It was going to first store hour, then minute, and the last thing it was going to store was basically, wait a second. Okay. So the last thing it was basically going to store hour, minutes, and millisecond. And after this, it was done. So the time data type is same as the day data type. And for the time, you need to use write like this. Let me just copy this whole code again. Now in the place of date, I need to write time. Control V. In the place of date, I need to write time here. Shift time. Okay. Now T day. In the place of T day, I'm just writing T time. Okay, T time will be good. Now here in the place of date, I need to change this to time. Wait a second. Okay, just come here. And this time I need to change from it to time. Okay, now in this time instance, we also need to specify some parameters. As in date, if you remember, we are specifying three types of value. The first is year, the second is month, and the third is date. The same way when you are specifying a time, the first thing you need to specify hour, then minute, then second, and then the last thing is microsecond. So first thing I'm going to specify hour, like just specify 10 hour, then I'm going to specify like minute like 15 minutes, then I'm going to specify seconds like which will be 8, and now I need to specify one more thing which will be my basically you can say millisecond, which will be 50. So you need to give four things here because this time it was going to take four values this time. The first is basically hour, the second is basically your time, a minute, and the third is basically your second, and the last one will be basically your, or you can say the microsecond. And now we are going to print this. Let's try to execute this again and see does we get our error or not. So our code was successfully run. So if I go down here, this time we get our code executed and successfully. And let's go a little bit up, and here you see we will get this, the first assignment T day. This is 2025-07. This is the first information we are getting. And now we need to see for 2025-0078. This is debug for our the first statement, system.debug for T day. Now we need to search for T time. So let's go. Here we get T time here. So a little bit up, I think we will get our error. See this where it was executed. So let's make this a little bit big. Okay, so T time, we need to search for T time. Okay, T time, here we are not able to see it. Okay, so time dot need new instance, time false. Okay, this time we are actually this is the problem I'm facing on the VS Code for finding the particular codes. That's why I'm also prefer to use the debugger console also. So let me just use the debugger console for the same task and see does I'm getting the same good as result or not. Just give me a second, guys. Okay, let me just see this again. Paste it again. And just this time I'm going to remove this line and just going to print this. You can find yesterday's videos on particular, you can say on YouTube and also on your LMS section. So here this time we will get also executed our time section, and here we will get our time result also here on this debug section. If you see this, now debug 10, 15, 10 hours, 15 minutes, 8 seconds, and 0.15 Z, and this will be your microsecond. Which LMS? LMS access. LMS login section was sent by you, sent to you in your email. Check for your email or check for your spam folder where you get a mail from XLR to log in your LMS and access to the this student development program or daily development program, and where you can find the yesterday's videos and today's recording video also, and you can find these videos also on the YouTube For this, you need to go to on YouTube and search for XLR solutions on YouTube, and you are able to find these videos also. So here you can see we are able to execute this program also, and we are getting our error. We are getting our result. Now the third program is, this time you see in the both things, we are going to get our date and time different. Now we have one more program, or we have one more data type, which was going to print date and time together. So this, for this, what you need to do, you just need to slightly modify this thing. In the first of time, you need to also specify date here. Like this, you can see we have date and time, and I just need to remove this thing. So let me just write it again, date, then we have time. Okay, so first thing, date and time, and here you can see after writing date and time, the second thing is you need to create a variable which was going to store the date and time together. After this, you need to create the new instance. For the new instance, this thing is going to same the new instance name. Only thing you are going to change is this particular piece of information. So here we need to specify date and time again. So date and time will be, let me make it small. Okay. So now these things are done, date time and date time dot new instance. But here comes the main thing. And the main thing is the parameter what we are going to pass. So the parameter is like, first you need to give the year, month and day. So first of all, the first parameter and the first three value will be your year, then your month, which will be like what month you are going to specify, like 07, and what date you are going to specify. After this, the next thing you need to go to specify is the time for particular that time. So you need to specify the time. So right now I think the time will be 8:44. So here we need to specify the time, which will be 8. So 08. Let me give the, wait a second, I need to put a comma here. 08 comma. Okay, here we need to specify time 08. Then the minute will be 44, and let's assume the second will be like 15 second, and microsecond will be 10. Now this thing is done, and now when I click on execute, I'm able to see the date time together. So here I'm getting an error, like this time you can see execute anomalous apex run successfully. And if I click on show this time here, let me show you what we are getting. Just make this big, and here you see we get a problem here. Error method does not exist, or incorrect signature. Void new instance integer from type date time. So here we are getting this error because it was saying we are actually only storing integer values on this particular data type. If you see here, we are getting this error this time due to a data type error, because it was saying that we are only storing here integer values on this particular new instance. Now, what is the problem here? Can anyone tell me why I'm getting this error? Does anyone have any reply, or anyone have any answer why I'm getting this error? Does anyone able to tell me what is this and why I'm getting this error? Anyone have any idea? Anyone have any idea? Okay, can I get a quick message, because I'm not seeing anyone? Long data type should be used. Actually, why I'm going to use long data type? Remember, we are using primitive data type. We already use the date time, date data type, time data type. Now I'm using this date time data type. But this time when I give this value, pass these value, I'm getting this error. This new instance. It's a method does not exist, or incorrect signature. Void new instance integer. And here you case from this type. But if you see here, count these things 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So here we'll get 3 and 4. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 from this type. Means we are getting wrong value here. So every time, yes, we need to make a new file. Does anyone have any idea why I'm getting this error? Can anyone able to tell me why I'm getting this error? Anyone have any idea? Let's try to execute this. See, again I'm getting the same error here. Incorrect signature. Means I'm passing the incorrect value here. Does anyone have any idea why I'm getting this error? Anyone knows? Okay guys, I think none of you able to tell me why I'm getting this error. Multiple integer value. Okay. So can anyone tell me what is the difference between this code and this code? What is the difference between this and this? If I try to run this code, let me just comment out this code first. Now I have a question to all of you. What is the basic difference between the first line and second line? If I comment out this and try to run execute this again, see this time this code was actually run successfully. Can anyone tell me the date time name is incorrect? But if you remember, I will already told you that a date time actually uh, basically our particular Apex is a non-case sensitive programming language. So why we get this error? Now let's try to change this date time again here and say that this works or not. So date will be D and time should be, let me make it small now, and let's try to do this again and see does this work or not, which I think one of you say that this is the problem. See, again it was actually run successfully without showing any error. Now this time I will also write the date time like this and the date time will be the same. Here you can see like the same thing. Then the new instance, everything will be same. But can anyone tell me why I'm getting this error? 7 arguments, very good. Only one person is giving the accurate answer that because we are passing 7 arguments in the first time, when the second time we are passing 6 arguments. So this code will also run if you just remove one single argument. This is not going to work because this time we are actually passing two things. The first time we are passing is, remember, month. What I'm going to tell you again from the start, the date time is going to store getting 6 parameter. First is year, then month, then comes your day, then hour, then minute, and then it will come second. When you are storing date and time again, these three things will come. Now if you click on execute, this time see the first will execute, and here if I go click on show here, again we get on our error, and here this time we are getting an error unexpected to token TTIM. Now can anyone tell me why I'm getting this error this time? Does anyone have any idea? This time we are getting this type of error. Okay, so this is a task for you to tell me why we are getting this error, that TTIM, when you try to execute this code, particular code. Okay, so I think everyone is clear with the date and time, particular type of, you can say the data types. Does anyone have doubt regarding the date and time? And this is a task for you to find out why we are getting an error. And one more thing I need to show you, if I just change this name from TTIM to any other thing, let's suppose new date, and here I'm going to specify in the place of TTIM, I'm going to specify here also new date. You see, again I'm going to get the error. Means whenever I create a new variable, I'm going to get the error. Now this is a task for you to tell me why we are getting this error. Date and time should be separated by semicolon. No, this is wrong actually. Okay, I think don't. Remove comma from arguments. Okay, now let's try to execute this. See, this is the small thing you need to show. Only I think our name Amrit is able to find this, and Amrit is only able to tell. No, Tim is not a registered keyword actually. Only one guy is fine. Okay, second part, 2% found. Why this we are getting error? See, sometimes you are getting error because a very small reason which you actually don't focus. So if I tell you this is the error, you are going to search for every big thing. Sometimes you just simply search for the smallest thing and you will get your problem solution. So this is how you are going to execute your code and you are going to get your information. I think right now all of you able to understand all the three particular you can say the codes or the variables which you already know about string. You also know about integer. You also know about this long. You also know about double. You also know about date. You also know about date and time. And the last you also know about time. So basically we cover three, six, seven data types. The next data types which we are going to cover is the new data types and which will be Boolean type of data. Because every program the next data type after this is we have the Boolean data type. Now what is Boolean data type? Can anyone know that what is Boolean type of data? Basically, Boolean type of data which is going to store only two values. Either it was going to store true or it was going to store false. So let me just make it comment here from first to tell this point. Yes, very good. Boolean is either going to take true or false. So here first of all I need to specify Boolean. For this first of all you need to specify Boolean be okay Boolean. So here first of all you need to give the data type and here you need to give the value. So Boolean and here what I'm going to create a value is variable underscore 12. Now this is a variable and here I need to pass a variable. Now this value is a boolean. So remember it was going to only take two values. Either it was going to take true or either it was going to take false. So right now I'm going to try pass a number value here and I'm going to see what type of error I'm going to get. So now if I click on here execute this time, here my code was execute successfully and if I just come here, here we are getting illegal assignment from integer to variable. So remember boolean is only going to take two things, either it was going to take a true value or a false value. So just I'm going to write this thing. Okay, true. And here you can see we created two variables, variable 2 and variable 1, and which will be a auto write. This is a basic simple function which we get when we are using the VS Code that we already completed the code very fast. So now here you can see we are getting here Boolean variable 2 which is going to store value true and Boolean variable 1 which is going to store variable false. And here we just simply printing these two things like system.debug first and system.debug second. Now let's try to execute this and see what we are getting. So click on execute. Here we get the execution done. Now if I click on show, here you see we get an error again on line 15 column 9. Unexpected token variable 2. Does anyone know why I'm getting this error this time? There's a very small thing. Let me see how many of very good. Semicolon is missing. So remember if you don't put semicolon you are going to get this error continuously. Now let's try to execute this again and see what we are having. So now this time our execution was done and if I click here on show, our code was actually executed. And here you can see first we are getting our basically the message or the this particular part which is commented which we are not going to execute it. And here if we come down we are able to see our conditions here. Here you can see we getting two things false and true because variable 1 is basically false and variable 2 is basically true. So we are going to get our values also which will be true or false. So boolean is only going to store true or false, nothing more. Now after this boolean, we have some other data types also, which is known as collections. So these are the basic primitive data type which we use in our programming language. So we have time and after time we have boolean. Now in Apex programming language, we actually have collections. The next thing is collection. So let me just make this line also comment. Control X coming here. Okay, so the next thing in Apex programming language we have is collections. So let me write here collections. Okay, so like Python, Java, we also have something special in Apex programming language. Like in Python, you have dictionary, list, In Java, we have array. The same way in Apex, we have collections. And these collection also store some type of value. Like in Apex programming language, we have three collections. The first is basically your set. Then we have dictionary. And the last thing which we have is list. So these are the three things which we have. Now, what is this going to have? Set, then we have list, then dictionary, and then we are going to use these three things. And we also have map as last pair. You can write map. Just let me complete this. Now you can see here what is list. Here you can give a small information also, because this was a very good feature for VS Code. You'll also get the information about all these things. So first of all, you have map, list, set, and dictionary. And these are the basically four, or you can, sorry, dictionary was not there actually. So let me remove dictionary. Okay. So we have set, and then we have list, and then we have map, the three things. So set is going to store a number of values. List is also going to store something, and map is also going to store. But remember, map going to store a key value pair, where a map needs two things. First, it was going to store a key and then a value. Remember, the key should not be duplicated, where the value should be duplicated. So map is a data type which was going to store two things. It was going to store key value pair. List is your also data type which was going to store a list of numbers, and it will start the numbers. You can use this list because it was like array, because it will store the numbers on the basis of indexing. Now you have set also. Now set and list is same, but there is a very small difference. Can anyone know what is the smallest difference between set and list? Does anyone know? What is the smallest difference between set and list? Anyone? Okay, set can have duplicate values. Your list is mutable. Okay, set is immutable. Okay, list is mutable. Anyone else? Set has a limit, and list is unlimited. Okay. Anyone else? Okay, okay. I think many of you just simply search Google and you will get your answer. Okay. I don't think so. I'm getting good answers from anyone. Let me see. I'll get some. List accept duplicate values. Okay. Okay. So if you talk about difference between set and list in Apex, see, every programming has their thing, but we need to talk about in Apex. So if you talk about the difference between set and list in Apex programming language, remember, a list is an ordered collection. The first thing you need to remember, the basic difference between set and list is that a list is basically a ordered collection, where a set is an ordered collection. Remember this thing. This is the first basic difference between the set and list. Now the second thing is duplication. Now a set is cannot contain duplicate elements. So if you are storing elements in a set and you created a set type of data, then that particular data type was not going to contain any duplicate values, where a list can contain duplicate values. So list can have multiple duplicate value, but a set cannot have duplicate value. And the second thing, a list should be a order collection, where a set should not be a order collection. So set is unordered, collection also don't store duplicate values, where list is a ordered collection and also store duplicates value. Does anyone have any doubts regarding this? Let me just show you. Okay, because we are going to do something very much. And now the third thing is map. Now I have a question for all of you. In map database, in map data type, does map have two things? Remember, map have two things. One is key and the second is value. So map is going to store two things, key value pair. Now I have a question for all of you, like which is going to duplicate? Is this key is going to duplicate or is this value pair is going to duplicate? So remember, in map data type, the key is never going to be to duplicate because key is like real thing where the value pair is going to be duplicated. Now I have a question, like if you are thinking why we are learning these type of things, these data type, these are basics. So let me give you a small, very quick use of these data type because many of you are thinking where we are going to use this thing. So when you are working as a real SD, I'm talking about a real SD in a company or in a developer. See, these things are very useful because give you a very quick example, a very good example of map. In your phone, you have contacts. You go to in your phone contacts, you see every data was stored in the sense of key value pair. Now remember, your phone number and your name is a key value pair. Where can anyone tell me what is the key and what is the value in the phone number in the context thing? Which part should be the key and which part should be the value? The phone number should be the key or the name should be the key? Yeah, very good. Key is the number and value is the name. Yeah, because here you can see we are using map type of data in our context. And when you are developing big software application, you need to remember these things because these are the very crucial and the small things which you need to remember also. So this is the basics which makes your things better. So in tomorrow's class, we are going to start our key value pair. So in the tomorrow's class, we are going to start our key value. Okay, so what I'm saying, tomorrow's class, we are going to start our collections where we are going to see the set, map, and key value pair, these three things. And we are going to see the examples where we are going to print things. We are also trying to do something more. And one more thing you all realized till this point that we actually print hello world, we did everything, but we are not able to take input. So let me tell you one more thing. In Apex programming language, you are not able to take inputs. Okay. So means we are not able to take input from the user in Apex programming language. And when we are learning class, we are going to know how we are going to solve this issue using the constructor where we need to pass some values using the constructor. So we are going to solve this problem where we are not able to take input from the user. So I am also going to clear this thing in the starting that in Apex programming language, you are not going to get any type of input from the user. Okay, so should we are going to end this class today. We are going to meet tomorrow and tomorrow we are going to start our new things. Have a great day, all of you. Please join tomorrow on time and then we are going to start our class.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Dear student, I'm sharing the attendance link once again. If any meeting missed, please mark your attendance and we'll see you tomorrow at same time. Thank you. Bye bye. Have a nice day and good night.